Welcome to class 10 of the ongoing continuous professional development program for teachers. And this CPD is getting more and more interesting by the day. The last time we looked at the overview and summary of stages of a child development, and we have been able to look at all the 8 stages that make up a human life. We started from infancy up to late adulthood. We looked at the approximate ages for each stage, the virtues for each stage, the psychosocial crisis for each stage, the existential question for each stage, and then the significant relationship for each stage. I'm sure you have found yourself in each of those stages and you have been able to identify where you are currently and what is happening to your existential questions. Having looked at the broad overview, let us now proceed to look at age by age knowledge of the child. How do we expect the students to behave based on their respective ages? We start from age 1, that is toddler. Anyone at age 1 is still a toddler. Anyone at age 2 is still a toddler. So we take ages 1 and 2 to be toddler. That's infancy stage that I talked about the other time. What are the characteristics of this age? At age 1, the child explores the environment, putting objects in the mouth, touching textures. So parents are careful on watching the child, looking at what he's putting in the mouth and what he's touching. Not corrosive, not poisonous objects. It's not only exploring environment. Second characteristics of age 1 is imitating actions. They imitate a lot. They imitate clapping. That's why you see if they're in an environment where they always sing, you will see them clapping with others. If people are waving bye-bye to them, they also wave bye-bye back. If people are dancing, they also begin to dance. Whatever they see adults do or fellow children do, they do. And that is why those who are handling this crutch, toddlers, should be careful the way they behave because the children will end up imitating them. The third characteristics is asserting independence. They want to, even at age 1, they want to feed themselves. So when you are putting food in their mouth, they don't want to take it. They want to dress themselves. They want to remove the socks. They want to remove the shoe. Any type of cloth they don't like, you will see them pulling at it like this. If you put a kind of attachment on their head that they don't like, you will see them pulling it off. So that is the third characteristics of age 1, asserting independence. Number 4 characteristics is tantrums. They throw tantrums a lot. They cry, they throw themselves on the floor when they are frustrated, when they are displeased, or when they are in any uncomfortable situation. Some even goes to the extent of banging their head, beating themselves, and throwing valuable objects all around the place. And number 5 characteristics of a toddler, age 1, is testing boundaries. Deliberately, they want to test the boundaries you have set. The things you have told them, don't touch this, they will deliberately want to go and touch it. And then they want to throw toys. So at age 1, you are calm with them, you are patient with them, and you are also firm, knowing fully well that they are already testing boundaries at that stage. The fact that they can imitate means that you also will need to put up behaviors that you consider worthy of being imitated. If you are a Muslim, by that time they will also begin to do the prayer, the way you bend down, the way you put your head down, they begin to do it. At age 2, let's look at 5 characteristics. How does a child behave when he's 2 years old? He's still a toddler, he's still in infancy stage. So number 1, they begin to use simple language. That's when you begin to hear mama, dada, baba. Those simple languages that come with with simple letters, a consonant in between. Number 2, they now begin to imitate daily activities. They begin to imitate the way you make tea. They begin to imitate the way you feed. If you have doll for them, the way you are feeding them, they'll be feeding doll like that. It's no more just imitating actions. It's now imitating activities on daily basis. Then they are testing boundaries continuing, and even on a higher note. That's number 3 characteristics of age 2. They test your boundaries. They refuse to share, and that is when they begin to hit others. If you are not careful, you may raise a bully at this point in time. So when they are testing your boundary, they are telling you they can cross boundary, and you will need to let them know they can cross boundary. So a light tap to make them to behave well is not out of place at that time. But if you think they are very young, they don't know what they are doing, they can do anything, they are already testing your boundary, and they may become uncontrollable when they are going to 3, 4, 5. The fourth characteristics of age 2 is parallel play. They play next to others, but they are not interacting. There's no interaction. So if you bring them beside other child, you think they're of the same age or their age mates, that they will play together. They don't play together. What they do is parallel play. He's doing his own, the other person is doing his own. There is no interaction at that point in time. So, and that is they can even eat others. I've talked about that under testing boundary. And for those who are handling crutch, don't think that children play together at that time. They do parallel play. And then we have tantrums. That is throwing self on the floor, screaming, and all of that. The using simple language is good, positive. Imitating daily activities, good, positive. Parallel play, to some extent, good, positive. Testing boundary, throwing tantrums, negative. You have to find a way of checking that. You have to find a way of correcting that. Then we have the age 3 now. How do you undo age 3? Characteristics of age 3, they are moving from mama, dada, no, yes. They are moving to forming simple sentences. So by that time, as you are saying, I'm happy, they also say, I'm happy. Happy birthday, they're saying, happy birthday. Simple sentences, I want water, I want juice. And number 2, they are imitating social behaviors. I want you to get this issue of imitation, because imitation is common to age 1, age 2, age 3. At age 1, they are imitating actions. At age 2, they are imitating daily activities. At age 3, they are imitating social actions, social behaviors, like sharing toys, like taking turns to do things. By that time, the brain is getting more developed. Group play has come to replace parallel play. So from age 2 to age 3, they can be engaged in group play now. They can play with others, they can interact with others, they can share their toys with other children of their age range. So you don't over expect at age 1, at age 2, he's supposed to be interacting. It's not supposed to be interacting actually. Real interaction starts from age 3. Of course, we have late developers and early developers. So sometimes these things overlap. You see someone from age 2 plus, age 2.5 is already showing tendencies of age 3. And someone may get to age 4 before showing tendencies of age 3. But on a common ground, this is what is expected. Now, the fourth characteristic of age 3, uh, at age 3, we don't call them toddler anymore. We call them preschooler. So we have imaginative play. That is when they pretend to act as mother. They pretend to be an animal. They use objects as props, and that is imaginative play. And number 5, we talked about testing boundary at age 1, testing boundary at age 2, you remember, eating others. Uh, but at age 3, testing boundaries has grown to resisting authority, refusing to follow rules, testing limits. You see, when we talk about rebellion, why rebellion is a serious issue to God is because rebellion is the vice that starts with a child right from infancy. Children don't commit fornication at age 1, age 2, age 3. They don't tell lies. They don't engage in bribery and corruption. But rebellion starts with the child right from age 1, when they begin to bite the mother's nipple because she was late before giving out breastfeeding. So at age 3, it has graduated into resisting authority. It's one of the strongest characteristics of Adamic nature, rebellion. I think it's because Lucifer, that transformed into devil, was the first person to really commit this sin, and that's the major sin of the devil, resisting the authority of God. And that is why if anyone is born through copulation, it is just difficult to follow authority or to follow rule. So it begins from age 3, and that is when the parents and the teachers should become diplomatically decisive in order not to make the child to become a tyrant as it gets to 4 and 5. If a child makes over pampering parents at this stage, definitely is going to go out of boundary. And when they now want to be enforcing boundary at age 7, at age 8, when they think how it's now old enough, it will have been too late. At age 4, he's still a preschooler, and the number one characteristic is vocabulary expansion. He can now use complex sentences. He's expected to use complex sentences. He's expected to be able to describe events. He's expected to be able to say, Bola beat me. He's expected to be able to say, I want to go to toilet. At age 4, we said at age 2, there was parallel play. We said at age 3, there was, what did we call it? Group play. At age 4, there is cooperative play. That is, they can now work together to achieve a goal. They can build sand together. They say they are building house with sand. It has formed. So the social interaction is increasing. At age 1, you don't expect at all. At age 2, you expect parallel play. They are all together, but each person is doing his own. At age 3, you got group play. At age 4, you got cooperative play. And at the third characteristics of age 4 is storytelling. Creating stories, using imagination. By that time, using Bible stories come very handy. Um, if you are a Christian, and the same thing, Quranic stories if you are a Muslim. Then number 4 characteristics is emotional outburst, crying, screaming when frustrated. And number 5 characteristic of age 4 is sharing struggles, refusing to share, feeling possessive. So the testing boundary that we saw in age 2, age 3, that became resisting authority in age 3 has come to feeling possessive. At that time, the child that will ask for biscuit, he will give you biscuit at age 1, at age 2. At age 4, is no more giving you. That sense of mine, me, I, is coming in at age 4. It's not that pronounced at age 2, age 1, age 3, but it is stronger at age 4. So we move to age 5. By that time, you still call him a preschooler or a kindergartner. He has moved to kindergarten by that time. And number 1 characteristics is rapid cognitive development. You can learn new skills quickly. You can learn how to manipulate the mathematics manipulatives that you are using, identifying figures, and you could recognize letters of the alphabet. Then number 2 is able to follow simple rules, understand basic game rules, as the teacher is giving them the lead. Number 3, there is separation anxiety. It becomes stronger at age 5. At age 1, age 2, anybody can carry the child. And especially if you give him something, anybody can carry the child. At age 5, separation anxiety is expected to be stronger. That is, it's feeling anxious when separated from parents. Don't forget, by that time, the parent is still the significant relationship, as we have learned in the previous session. And then independent struggles also come in at age 5. That is, wanting to do things alone, though needing help, wanting to put on the shoe by himself, wanting to feed himself, wanting to scribble on his own, to write on his own, though he needs help, but he won't say, I will do it alone, I will do it alone. So we have independent struggles. And finally, motor skills are beginning to show. That is, you begin to see the psychomotive skills of the child, his ability to use scissors, his ability to draw shapes are all coming to bear at age 5. Now we move to age 6. And at age 6, he has moved to primary school. Early elementary, age 5, the motor skills are expected to increase. At age 6, he's expected to be able to write. He's expected to draw. He's expected to use small muscles at age 6. At age 6, number 2, is competitiveness. He wants to win. He wants to compete with others. Don't forget when we were doing the stages of human development, we said this stage, the virtue is competence. So at that level, he wants to pass. He wants to score first position. If you are using position in your school, you really want to compete with others. He's asking others, what did you score? I scored to 5 or 6. What did you score? And at age 6, friendship development gets stronger. He's forming close relationship with peers more than he is expected to do when he was 2, 3, 4, 5. At age 6, still early elementary, we understand basic time concepts. At age 6, is expected to understand days, weeks, and months. Days, Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and then weeks and months. And at that age 6, the fifth characteristic is emotional regulation. Is expected to be able to use to exercise more self-control when he's hungry, when he's angry, when he's excited. Age 7 is characterized by 1, curiosity. Begin to ask questions upon questions, seeking answers. How was a child born? A child carry a child in the stomach. Is it in the stomach? Who put the child inside the stomach? He said it is pregnancy. So how does a mother become pregnant? So if a child is in the stomach, how does he come out? Where does he come out from? How does he become a baby? At age 7, you begin to hear more of those questions. He looks at the sky and is asking you, where does it end? Who put the sky there? So age 7 is characterized by curiosity, asking questions, seeking answers. Number 2 is reading and learning. At age 7, you expect that the child should develop reading skills and should also be able to learn new subjects. If a child is not reading at all at age 7, it's already a defect. At age 7, number 3, team sports is also a characteristic. Participating in team sports and learning teamwork. There are solitary learners like we have seen in learning styles, but that is learning style. In general, behavioral tendencies, it's expected at age 7 that there will be teamwork, playing football together, running together, and all of that. So, what started as parallel play that graduated into group play, that graduated into cooperative play, has now graduated in age 7 to team sports. And number 4 characteristic of age 7 is responsibility. At age 7, a child is expected to be able to take care of his belongings and completing his tasks, the classwork, especially his book in his bag, his biro in the compartment, and strapping it on his back, coming back home, and getting his food back. At age 7, there is number 5 characteristics is self-awareness. He's beginning to recognize his strengths, his weaknesses, and even his emotions. And at that time, he now knows that he's not so good at running, he's not so good at jumping. We move to age 8. At age 8, he's already growing. He's in elementary. No more early elementary. He's getting to middle primary now. So there are 5 characteristics of age 8. Number 1 is complex social relationship. At age 8, he's already developing social friendships and is understanding social dynamics. He's getting to know I'm not going to play with Dan again. Is getting to tell you that Lydia is not does not like me. He's beginning to say that Beatrice and I are very close, but I'm not so close to Abdullah. Abdullah is a bully. I don't want to talk to him. So he's understanding friendship, he's understanding social dynamics at age 8. At eight, age 8 is also characterized by number 2, group activities. He's participating in group projects, he's working together with others, and he now know that we are the ones that are to bring loamy soil. Abdullah group will be bringing clay soil, while Beatrice group will be bringing sandy soil. So at age 8, independence is another characteristic. Don't forget, independence actually started early in life, but by that time there was no expression. At age 8, there is independence and there is expression. So by that time, he wants to take his own decision. He wants to take care of himself. He wants to take bath for himself. He wants to fully dress up by himself. That is age 8. It is still uh, that stage is still, the early childhood that we talked about. The next one is cognitive skill. Is developing problem solving abilities, critical thinking, is able to solve higher mathematical questions, is able to handle summaries, comprehensions with bigger vocabularies. And at age 5, that age 8, there is a more of emotional regulation. It's able to manage his emotions. It's able to exercise more self-control. At age 9 is characterized by specialized activities. At age 9, he is now knowing what he is good at and what he wants to do. At age 9, there is participation in sports, music, musical instruments. There is participation in other specialized activities. His fine art talent is gaining expression. He's getting to know that, Daddy, this is what I like doing. Even if he doesn't say it out, daddy and mommy are beginning to notice, teachers are beginning to notice he's good at doing this. And there is peer acceptance at age 9. He's seeking acceptance from peers in the school, in the neighborhood, in the church, in the mosque, wherever he finds himself. That desire to want to fit in is already gaining expression at age 9. At age 9, his critical thinking is developing, and his self-awareness is also developing. He's recognizing more of his strengths, his weaknesses, his emotions, his values. It's a very good time to really bring salvation to at a very serious dimension to the child. Your self-awareness is expected to be very high by that time. He's supposed to be having his values. He's expected to be able to, by that time, thinking that I don't like the way Biola shouts. I like it when you are talking to me and you don't have to shout. He's understanding what his values are. He's understanding what his emotions are. And his temperaments are beginning to show. So it is a good time to really bring salvation message to the child. And number 5 characteristics, we're still talking about the emotional regulation is also growing, and that takes us to the last in this segment. Don't forget we are doing age 1 to 10, and when I come back later we'll be doing 11 to 18. At age 10, most likely many children will be writing their entrance examination to secondary school, and at that age it is their late elementary stage. That age 10 is the transition for many students from primary to secondary. It is a transition stage, and it is also a stage where the child is learning to compose himself and prepare for secondary school. What are the characteristics? Abstract thinking is number 1. is able to understand complex concepts and abstract ideas. Don't forget, age 1, age 2, age 3, even up to age 7, age 8, we are using practical things for them, concrete objects, things they can see. If we're giving them 5 plus 5, we are bringing 5 broomsticks plus 5 broomsticks. If we are doing A for apple, we are showing them picture of apple. We're giving, I mean, everything just have to be concrete. But at age 10, it is expected that a child can learn with abstract ideas even without seeing the concrete object around. Independence is getting stronger at age 10. Self-awareness is getting stronger at age 10. Emotional regulation is getting stronger at age 10. And then there is a complex problem solving at age 10. And then there is a advanced problem solving abilities at age 10. We need to keep in mind that every child develops at their own pace, and there could be early developers and late developers. But what I've just shared with us, the general age related behaviors. When I'm rounding up completely on this age by age in the next video, I'm going to share with us some of the cognitive expectations, most especially regarding language, mathematics, and sciences on these ages. But let's focus on their behaviors that we are treating. So when I come back, I'm going to be taking ages 11 to 18. That is very interesting because that's when they will be in secondary school. You are going to expect more complex behaviors. You are going to expect more complex reactions. You are going to see more tendencies of rebellion, resisting authority, and testing boundaries. But you are also going to see higher level of cognitive development. You are going to see more advanced problem solving abilities. You are going to see them right in your eyes developing into adolescence and going gradually into early adulthood. So when I come back in the next video, I'm going to be looking at ages 11 to 18, and I will round off that segment with the general 1 to 18 regarding to English language, languages, mathematics, and sciences. Don't go away. We are coming back very shortly to continue with age by age knowledge of the child from 11 to 18 years. Thank you.